Hello, 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 everyone.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome to Hear My Marriage Podcast. I'm your host, Tara,
And I'm Pedro.
and we are back again with
I almost
another
forgot to say my
episode.
name.
Oh, don't forget to say your name.
I almost did.
And we back again with another episode for you guys. This is season 5, episode 4.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Mm,
And today's topic will be about forgiveness. And we all need forgiving. We all need someone to, if we apologize for something sincerely, to um, forgive us, hopefully, hoping that they take it in. But forgiveness is not for you just saying it to them, but it's for yourself to release
mhm.
those things that is holding you hostage and captive in in your feelings and in your mind. And we have to let things go, and it's hard sometimes to forgive when someone has hurt you really bad and done something to you that you think, look, I ain't forgiving them. I don't appreciate what they did. They hurt me. They made me feel unloved, unwanted, and all of these, especially if it's your spouse.
Okay. We're
Yeah.
going to
So
put a pin
anyway,
in there for a
that's your.
minute because you're about to go
I
into the
know.
podcast.
No. I was just giving a
goodness gracious.
synopsis.
I know synopsis. That's pretty much the
I had
podcast.
this on my mind, and I just had to put it out there for the people, to just give different scenarios of forgiveness.
Okay.
So yeah. So
As Pastor Ray used to say,
put a pin
put a
in
pin
it.
in it.
Whatever. Pin my butt. Can't nobody no pen.
Yeah.
Say what I want to say.
Anyway, we want to thank you all for joining us today on Hear My Marriage Podcast.
That's right. That's right. Thanks to all our listeners.
Thanks to all the listeners. We didn't thank them last time, so
That's
thank
right.
you for everybody on YouTube and Adventist Radio London,
Instagram,
and all the
and
social.
Facebook, and all the social
Oh,
media
you can't name them
platforms.
all. Just all
Sorry,
the
I
social
just did.
media platforms. Just say that. But
Yeah.
Adventist Radio London is not a platform; it's a radio station. So
Yeah,
that's why
same
we,
thing.
whatever. We wanted to actually say that we will be down at Chiswick, Chiswick.
Yeah.
Next week,
Seventh Adventist
February
Church.
1st, Seventh Adventist Church.
Yes.
So those who want to come down, we're gonna have a service down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not with Heal My Marriage, but we will be a part of it. It's with Talking Point and the Adventist Radio London family. We're gonna have a bunch of presenters there.
Mm-hmm.
So come on down if you're in the London area of Chiswick.
Right.
I would say that wrong.
Yeah.
And come in and enjoy the Sabbath. I think Pastor Ray will be preaching,
Mm-hmm.
or he's most likely gonna be preaching.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be having a all-day Sabbath event.
Yep.
So come down and join us and enjoy the Pacific. I can't say it.
The activities,
the activities,
the festivities.
There we go. The festivities. I can't say certain words all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's like I turned 50 and all the words that I used to say I can't say. But anyway, yeah. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
So please come and join February 1st.
That's right,
Chiswick,
guys.
Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was out yesterday and I realized it was so windy, and I was telling Kaya, I said, when we was walking home, I said, girl, I think the wind is carrying us home. It literally, I felt like the wind was just pushing us to our house. And especially after we left out the store. And these winds is fierce. I felt like I was getting a cold. I think that's why I'm all kind of stuffy and stuff.
Well, I know for a fact it was windy because I drove to Newcastle yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say no lie, I saw 1, 2, 4 lorry trucks on their side. 4 of them, not like literally turned over on their side, on the side of the motorway.
Wow.
From the wind.
Wow.
Literally.
That's
like
how strong the wind was.
That's how strong the wind was. Yeah. And
Wow.
I saw actually a couple of box trucks also. One looked like it had flipped over or something because the front was gone, the mirror and everything, the glass and everything was busted, and it was facing oncoming traffic, but it was off the road.
Nobody was hurt.
I don't know because I didn't. I couldn't tell. But
as far as you.
I know one truck. It looked like we drive on the right side. Yeah, I was gonna think about that. Yeah. So that one of the trucks, it landed on one of the petitioners or the thing.
Yeah.
And it was like in the truck.
Oh.
So, but that's the passenger side.
Mm-hmm.
So. Hopefully everything was okay.
Yeah.
But I just
name it was.
Yeah, it was like, and they just left them there. They didn't even they didn't block traffic, they didn't anything. They just pretty much they were just laying there. They wasn't even trying to get them out. I guess it was because it was too windy. So
wow.
Yeah, they literally just left the trucks there. They're probably trying to get them out today. But yeah, it's gonna be a little trick for them to do that because I was looking at them, I was like, man, on both sides. It was like 2 on one side, 2 on the other side. It was
Wow.
weird.
Wow.
But I was like, man, it's really windy out here.
Yeah.
I know they shut down Scotland yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
All schools and everything
Yeah.
because of the wind and the weather. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely it was definitely a crazy windy day. They
Yeah.
did say it was gonna be like that though.
Yeah. I didn't realize how intense it was until I went out, and I was like, my goodness. And I made sure. And then the thing is, the cold was just cutting right through my ears and my throat. And even though I had my scarf and everything on, I still felt
Cold.
the coldness.
Well, you're cold anyway.
I am.
So you're cold blooded.
I really am.
Cold-hearted.
Yeah. So
Cold all over.
I hope everyone year has been started off pretty good for year 2025. I know changes happen sometimes in our lives, and we're trying to figure which way to go. And as I was thinking about the topic that we was going to be talking about, I think this would be something to kind of zone in on as we go into our new year with our families, friends, and spouses, and just talking about forgiveness.
Yeah, because it's not just about marriage; it's about just forgiving in general. Yeah.
So yeah, you gonna pray for us before we jump in?
You can pray.
All right. Lord, thank you so much for this day, for this podcast, and for all the listeners. Lord, I pray that they be able to receive something from what we are saying. We're not professionals, but Lord, I'm asking you, Lord, to guide our words and our thoughts as we go into this, Lord. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. I pray in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
So if you listen to our podcast in the past and stuff, you've heard of our story, you heard of some of the things we've been through. And forgiveness was a big factor in our marriage becoming stronger and becoming what it is today after 19 years of marriage. And actually, we're about to hit 20 years of knowing each other.
Yes.
Yeah, in February. So yeah, I thought about that. I said, "Dang, 20 years of the same person."
Yes.
Oh Lord, that's some serious forgiveness right there.
It is.
Anyway,
it is. Yes, but I wanted to start off with a Bible verse that I was looking up in Ephesians 4, verse 30 through 32. And it says, "And do not grieve the Holy Spirit of God, with whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling, and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as Christ God forgave us."
That's right.
Or forgive you. And that came from the New International Version. So it's a different way of saying the verse. But just letting go of bitterness, as I was looking at the verse, as I letting go of anger and rage, and how we hold on to those things, and how it can really put a damper in our lives when we don't let things go, and if we don't go to that person or talk to them about, look, this is bothering me, the situation that happened, how can we get past this, so you can heal for yourself. You know what I mean?
I've said that plenty of times. Like, I just said actually earlier today, I can't, if I hold on to something, I can't move on.
Yeah.
So I have to just say how I feel, and they almost said like do it and then ask for forgiveness afterwards, and then just go that route, because then I feel once I forgive myself. I think the biggest thing about forgiveness is, before you can forgive somebody, you have to forgive yourself. Because I think a lot of things that happen when you are trying to forgive somebody is that you end up blaming yourself, because you're like, well, they did this to me. Did I cause them to do this to me? Did I do something that made them do this to me? Did I say something or act a certain way or something like that? And once you can forgive yourself, then you can forgive the person.
Right.
That's how I view it in that sense.
I agree with
but
that.
just letting go a little bit, because I was thinking about it when you just reading the text, and I remember, like, in our marriage, that's how I knew that we was forgiving each other, because when we was first married and we would get into a discussion or we get into an argument, like we'll bring up, oh, well, you did this in the past, or you would do something because you was based on what I used to do. Where I think now, when we get into an argument or we get into a discussion, or we do something that we don't like, it's not automatically like, oh, your reaction is not that of, oh, well, you did that in the past, I know that's what you're gonna do now. It's more like, you're in the moment of this is what you have done right now.
Yeah, at this moment. Yeah.
At this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there was a lot of, well, in the past, you know, I know you'd just be mad. Like, I used to laugh at this comment. He used to say to me all the time, he used to be like, I didn't tell you because I knew you was gonna get mad.
You know, and you know the worst, you know, the worst thing to say, and now that you said that, is to say, you always make me feel this way, and then now it's making the person feel, or making you feel, as if it's all on you.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that I had to do with it. But I just feel when we use these statements of you, and it's so kind of domineering in a way, kind of making it seem like the person is the problem, but not, maybe you not the problem. So I think the best thing for us to try to do is to say, look, I feel that this situation, the way this situation is making me feel this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you used to say that to me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that you thought I'd be mad?
Yeah, because
you used to always think I was mad. You wouldn't say a lot of things or give me a true feeling because you thought I was always gonna be mad.
Yeah, because
response.
Most times you'd be like, if it wasn't for you, instead of saying the I statement, like, I don't like how this is making me feel.
Okay.
I don't like how you acting is making me feel this way. And now because of that, I'm responding this way to you. You see what I'm saying? Because a reaction get a reaction from someone.
So that goes with like, we've had this discussion many a time, especially when it comes to like family.
Yeah.
Like, I would treat family as family. So like, even if we have a falling out, I would still treat family as family. Like, if they call me and say I need this, and I'll go and do it, usually look at me like, why are you doing that? Didn't they just say such and such, or didn't they just do this, or aren't they acting this way towards you? And I'm like, I forgive them for I forgive myself first off, because I've always said to you that as long as I know in my heart what I'm trying to do is right, I don't worry about the response that I'm going to get, because you're not always going to get that response that you think you should get from your family members, or even from you. Long as I know my intention was pure, and that I was like, even if I unintentionally hurt you, I didn't mean to hurt you.
Right.
I still know that I didn't mean to do that. It just happened.
Right.
Because you know, as husband and wife, we're gonna hurt each other sometimes unintentionally. You know, we're gonna say things or do things that sometimes it's just not gonna be right. It's gonna be wrong. You're gonna hurt your spouse. You're gonna say something in that moment that may hurt them, and you'd be like, oh man, I really hurt my spouse. I really hurt my wife.
I remember when I said to you one time, and we were just arguing a lot at a point in our marriage, and I was like, you're not a man. You know, you're not this and you're not that. Not knowing how hurtful that was.
Oh, that hurt me deep.
Or to break you to the core. You know what I'm saying? And then when I said it,
I don't even think it was, you're not a man. You said I'm not a good father or something.
I don't think I ever said you wasn't a good father.
No, yeah, you did.
I have said it?
Yes, you have.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I probably said it in the sense of, you're not a good man. You're not a good father if you're treating me this way.
Right. I'm not a good something.
Right. You doing this. You doing this in front of our children. You're not being a good father.
I have definitely taken those.
I think I may have did say that to you.
You said something that hurt me to the core, and I was just like, oh, really? Okay, cool.
But then once I did realize what I had said, and I sat down for a minute, just like God said, Tara, now you know you should have just delete, you know, out of your mind. But at that time, I was so angry.
Yeah,
I was, and that's
why I walked away.
And that's the thing. When you're angry, so much can come out. So much can come out of your heart that you don't even think it's there. You see what I'm saying? And that's why we got to be careful sometimes when we at that point of being so angry, to just step back.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what did I just say? When you
I know what you said.
I looked at you and I said, "Oh, really?" I didn't even say nothing to you. I just walked away.
And then once I realized, that, I was like, okay, I apologize for what I said. However, the situation, you know, when you don't like a situation that's happening and you just want it to just end, it's like, at that moment when you're mad and you're angry, you just saying everything that fly out. You're not even
you
thinking.
say things to try to make that person leave you alone. So you may say something that's going to be very hurtful. That's unforgivable.
Yeah.
And but, you know, sometimes you have to bite that bullet and just say, okay, you know what? Like I said, I just walked away and I said, you know, I think I said to you, think of what you just said.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't realize.
And I just walked away and was like, you know what? I'm not, because I knew what I was doing was not intentionally, and I knew what I was doing was not meant to hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let her emotion right now is getting the best of her. I'm just gonna leave her
sometimes
be.
when you in a marriage and you going through your differences, you feel like, this person's supposed to love me, this person's supposed to support me, supposed to be my person, but then at the same time they hurting you. You see what I'm saying? But then at the end, and another point, you need to display love, affection,
Right.
forgiveness, and
So
all of these things.
I was reading something and I actually had that thought process.
Hmm.
So out of all those things you just named, what you want to think is the least that we need in a marriage?
We need to forgive.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry,
no, no,
the
no.
least that we don't need.
What the things you just named? You said love.
Hmm.
What you said? Love. You forgot what you said already?
I did. Oh my gosh, I have a short span for real.
Oh my goodness. Well, you pretty much said like love, trust,
Hmm.
communication, consistency, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just I don't know the fifth one, but not a fifth one, but out of those, like what's
Out of those things.
out of those things, what's the least amount, what's the last thing you think, what's the least amount one that you need in your estimation,
Um.
Because
I
I was reading something and they made a good point. So I want to point it out.
I don't know. The only thing that's popping in my mind is love, but I don't know why I'm thinking of love.
Well, see, love is actually the one that you don't need.
Right. I was thinking about love for some
Because
reason.
I
Because
was
you can
reading
love
about
someone and still hurt them.
not just that. Love is up and down.
Yes.
It goes up, it goes down. You could, like, some days I just, like, they said, like, when you're married, right? Sometimes you're gonna be like, I cannot stand that person.
I can't stand
I
him
can't
right now.
stand them I can't stand her right now.
Yeah.
So love is not gonna help your marriage.
Yeah.
Love is gonna be the last thing that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Now you say, oh, I can't stand that person, but man, I just love being around them.
Mm-hmm.
Or man, I just like being with them. Or like, they just get me.
Right.
They just understand me. I can come, they're my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
They're my confidant. They're
Mm-hmm.
the person I can go and talk to, and I can break myself down and talk to them.
Right.
And there's also the major factor what we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and that's forgiveness. When you have somebody that can forgive you for your faults, then you know that that's the person that's for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because forgiveness is a big part in marriage, in the sense of that if you can't forgive your spouse, you can't forgive your people, the person that you're dealing with, for what you've done to them, you're not going to make it, because that it just builds up, and that grudge and that jealousy and that everything, the negative, the bitterness, everything that piles in, then you're like, I can't be with them. And that's how you like, oh, I can't be with them no more, because all you keep thinking about is the stuff that they did to you.
So if you can forgive, you can love, because you got to be able to love to forgive. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like intertwined.
But love, but like I said, it made a good point when I was reading, was that love is definitely the last thing you need in a, people say, oh, I love you, so I'm going to stay with you. You don't stay with the person because you love them. You stay in relationship with somebody because you trust them, you believe in them. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. You do stay with them because you love them. Yeah, but that's not the only reason. That's not the reason. I know you stopped. Right. I was meaning more in the sense of you do love them. Yeah. But that's not the sole reason why you stay with them. Some people stay, well, I love him. But
that's why I stay love you and leave you at the same time.
Exactly. And some people can love you and still hate you. Look at it's family members. Family members we love each other as a family member, but man, we could do some nasty things to each other. Yeah. We could do some things and he's like, what? Your family. Why would you do that to me? Right. Or your spouse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd be like, yo, you're my spouse. You're supposed to love me. And you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say that it could be the smallest thing sometimes in any relationship, family, spouse, or whatever, friend. It's the small things sometimes that shows that love. You see what I'm saying? Because not all the time that it have to be said. Mm-hmm. It could be that it's done through action. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Just the small things, like if you see that someone need help, or you see that the person need help with something, and you're like, okay, let me go and help my husband
fix this thing because I know he having a hard time. Let me go help him fix it. Just a small thing. But then if you see something that needs to be met and then you just ignore it and you just doing your own thing, where is the love? Where is it?
I don't know. Where is it? You know where?
I don't know. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like it just makes you think it do it really fade that fast. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it's important for us to have a relationship with God, so he can talk to us, so he can fix our hearts to be like him. You know what I'm saying? And this goes to Psalms 51, verse 10 through 12. It says, 12. It says, create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me from your presence or take your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation and grant me the willing spirit to sustain me. And when we ask God to do these things for us, we saying, Lord, fix my heart so I can do these things in my marriage for my spouse without even thinking about it.
True.
You know, sometimes it's just common sense things. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. And they'd be like, oh, I could have done it. Like, no, I got it for you. It's just those small things that can get so far in a relationship, just to show a person that, not only you telling me this, you showing me this through your actions. Because the actions speak louder than words.
Definitely.
And when
God,
you
could say all day long that you're going to do something, but if you don't show it.
And when God created us a clean heart, we want to do what's right and not be selfish, because we can sometimes be selfish in our own marriage. And want to do our own thing and help when we want to help, do when we want to do.
But that's not forgiveness. That's selfishness. Now you're going off.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry to cut you. I'm like, he got into selfishness now.
I'm just saying we could become selfish, which in turn can stop us from being forgiving. Right?
Yeah, I got you.
And then in turn can stop us from doing the things that we need to do so we can move forward.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
Man, I'm just saying it all intertwines with one another. It's not getting off the point. It's saying that it all links up.
I was trying to say the like you just said, you want to see where you was going with that. I want you to kind of incorporate the forgiveness back into the.
Yeah, which I was. But see, if you would have let me keep talking, then you would have heard what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be listening.
I forgive you.
You need to be listening. Listen. It's important.
So it's just like so many different. So the roles that forgiveness plays, it has a lot to do with some of the things that we do, and it's so many different factors when it comes to forgiving. You have to have a foundation of forgiveness, where you just form a trust in the base of the relationship, and then then you have to have a willingness to forgive. I think if you're not willing to forgive, then you're not gonna. Along with that, you just have to be believing the other person will strive not to hurt you again.
Right.
Even though, I'll be honest, we're gonna most likely hurt you again.
Yeah.
But it's just about just trusting that they're not doing it intentionally. I think sometimes we just.
I was going to ask you, what do you think is the most right? What do you think is the most unforgivable thing in your mind?
You told me last week what the most unforgivable thing is.
No, I'm saying.
Would you like me to repeat it? Because I can repeat it.
What did I say?
You said penetrating another woman is the most unforgivable thing. That's what you said.
Yeah. I don't look. Listen.
You said I can forgive you.
Sometimes in a relationship. You said this
last week. You said I can forgive you on anything.
Sometimes in a relationship.
But if you penetrate another woman, it's a wrap.
All I'm saying.
That's what you said.
And I think it'd be a wrap for a man too. If a man have a wife that he know that had sex with another male, right?
No.
Why not? Why not?
Because it's different.
Why?
Because it's different. We look at things differently. We look at things differently. I told you this when we had our situation, and you came to me and I was like, all right, I was cool about it. And he was like, what'd you have done if I was slow? If you had taken me back? I said, most likely I would have. You said, why? I said, because I love you and I want to be with you. So
that love came with what? What did it come with? What we talking about? Okay. See how it all intertwined.
Right, but you won't forgive me if I penetrated somebody.
You're probably right. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't sit on that. Sorry. I couldn't.
That's the one thing you
I
can't.
couldn't. You know, I'm cool.
But at least
You
you're
know,
honest.
oh my
Hey,
God.
at least you're honest about
You
it.
know, I don't know. Maybe I'm not the only woman that think that way. I'm just saying for me, I just don't know if that's something I could. I don't know.
I could get that because I think,
You know what I'm saying? Because you
I
know
think,
what?
wait, let me finish.
Go ahead. I'm
Let me
sorry.
think. I think I could get that because I think men are made more like hunters, where we kind of hunt, and you know, I don't want to put it like that, but
I'm about to say
we are like hunters. We hunt, right? But I think that your minds and I'm minds and I'm yours and your minds,
right.
right?
Because we're
And
one.
I can forgive you for it. I think the reason why you say that about me, if I was to penetrate somebody, is that all you be thinking about when we are in the do
Because
of it.
okay, this
That
is
I'm
what I'm
thinking
gonna
of
say.
that I'm thinking of the person and not you.
So this came in my mind, and I hope this is not too much. However, my thing is, you know how it feels now. You know how she feels. You know what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So
that's
now,
that's
I'm
what
gonna be in my feelings.
But that's what I'm getting at. So like
Be in my feelings about it.
you'll be sitting there like, oh, you know, like he's probably thinking of her while he's with me. Right. And so that's why for women, I can see a woman having a hard time thing. Well, males just like, you know, they all the same.
No, it's not. So if it's an ocean, it's an ocean. If it's a wall, it's a wall. If it's I don't understand. I'm like, what do you mean?
It's a different emotion.
It's a different emotion.
It's a different emotion.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It's a different emotion.
Well, because what? Women are emotional people?
Yes. And we're more logical, but it's just an emotional, you know, I don't know. And this is the thing. I said
I can see that,
I said you know what it is? Okay, let me put it this way. I'm gonna put it the best way. I would have tried to work it out with you. I don't know if it would have worked. Now, because I have to admit that I don't know if we got back together after that, if that would have happened, if I would have been able to get past that or forgive you.
But I'm saying, how can you then trust that you won't go out there again? And because if you can do it one time, you could do it again.
True. So here's a question: what if I was with somebody,
right,
and you stole me from that person? Now we get together and we get married. Wouldn't you be afraid that I'm gonna cheat on you?
Yes, because if you could do it to the person that you was with me, then you can definitely do it to me.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Because you found
the reason I came over with that because I saw a post where it said
minute.
Alicia Keys and Swiss Biggs. I think she stole him from his girl, whatever, his wife, whatever.
Right.
And they've been together for 14 years and everything's been, but you know, that's celebrity. So, you know, they never know the true story, you know, behind the scenes.
Right.
But, you know, they would just bring that up. And I was like, that's kind of interesting.
But I'm saying, if you could find a loophole into cheating with the person that you with, what make you think that I don't think that you wouldn't find a loophole to do the same thing?
That's true. Listen, I just asked you a question.
They're just like stealing. If someone keeps stealing and they can get away with it, they're going to keep doing it, right? So it's the same kind of concept.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's like it's no boundary.
No, so that's why you can never. That's why you would never. That's the one thing that you can never forgive me for.
I'm sorry. You know, I
said
love
it before,
you. I can love you,
once.
but I can love you from a distance.
So that's all. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. I can
love you because you're the father of my children. I can love you for that, and because you are a child of God, which we all are. But I couldn't necessarily just continue to be with you with that being the situation. I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it.
What if I kissed a person?
Why are you gonna be kissing somebody? That's not cool.
Question.
No. So now you got to put your lips and tongue and teeth in somebody? No, I don't know. I'm not okay with that.
I have to put my tongue and cheek.
No, I'm just saying. The point is, why do you have to do any type of sexual act to anyone? Why?
Now, okay, here's a question: is kissing a sexual act?
Yes.
It is?
Yes, because it's going to lead to that. If you kiss someone, right, and the next time you see them, what you think it could possibly happen?
Okay, what about a woman? What about a woman and a man? What about a woman that likes to cuddle and kiss but doesn't want to have intercourse? Are they having a sexual relationship?
They're not having a sexual relationship, but what they are having now is an emotional relationship.
Yeah,
They
they are.
connectioning and they connecting in emotional. That's even worse.
Why is that even worse? Maybe they want to get to another person.
No, because now you connect.
So wait. What happens?
Wait a minute. No, I'm trying to answer. Now you connecting in an emotional way, which is even more tighter.
Okay.
Than a sexual
so
way.
when you get, because we didn't go through this, so this is a little difficult. When you get engaged to somebody and you're dating, you're married, I'm gonna marry you, but it's a year away. You're not supposed to have any physical contact for that year.
Physical contact with the person you about to marry?
Yes.
But why put yourself in a situation that can cause you to have sex before marriage?
Wait. Why can't they kiss and why can't they hug? So they can't hug and they can't kiss.
They can give each other a kiss. Yeah, I guess there's nothing wrong
with
a little kiss. So
it does have some context to it.
Yes,
you're saying it like if I'm engaged to somebody, I can't touch them until the day we get married.
No, it's nothing wrong with a hug or a kiss.
You're gonna end up like the couple on there's a movie called Johnny Dangerously when they was holding out for so long they ended up doing it in the broom closet because they was holding out for so long. As soon as they got married, they went to the court. They was in the courthouse. They went straight to the broom closet.
My thing is, if you both have made that decision to be celibate before you get married, and if that's the case, just know what you're trying to hold on to. Just know that, look, when the time comes, it's gonna be what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I know that, but I'm just saying. But you can still, I think you can still have. If you know you're gonna be with that person, I think you can still have. You can still, if you're watching a movie, like sit next to each other and cuddle together.
Yeah. But when it start going to kissing, just make sure it's not kissing and touching and feeling, and then next thing you know,
and dry humping and all that.
Right, stuff. Then it's not good. Then it's not good. then you set yourself up for failure.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you really do. It's awful.
Right. Well, we gotta go. So we're gonna get back to forgiveness because now we got off on a whole different thing. But anyway, like I said, put a pin in it. And so with the forgiveness, like, here's a question for you. When do you think you actually honestly totally forgave me?
I forgave you when I decided to come back. When I came back.
Okay, you came back couple of times.
Yeah, okay, it's from the last time.
Okay. You gotta be specific.
All right, okay, from the last official time, I had said I want my marriage to work.
Oh, so you came here to the UK?
Well, no.
Yeah, that's the last time you came back.
I know, but that wasn't because we was having.
Oh, okay, right.
So that was
the last time.
Yeah, right. So so I was like, you know what? I want my marriage to work.
You came to the UK because I was in Bermuda. I left Bermuda. You came here. You left Bermuda and went back to the States.
Yeah. So I said I want my marriage to work, because I care about family. I care about. I always like that. I'm a family person. And
but even still, you still had some residue.
You know what I said. What I said was that it's so many ways I could have went. It's so many decisions I could have made. But I said, you know what? Not everything is green on the other side. I know what some things I don't like in you, but I also know some things I do like in you and what you can do to make yourself better.
Okay.
And that's what I was going on. And not just for you, but even for myself. You know what I'm saying? I had to be like, you know what? I got to let this go. I can't keep holding on to this because it's not good for our marriage. Because if I go back into our marriage, and I'm like, you know what? Oh, what you did before, or you did this, or you did that. We still gonna be in the same place. We're never gonna be able to heal in our marriage if we can't let go. If we can't see that you're not perfect, I'm not perfect. We're imperfect people trying to make our marriage work.
Right. So that's why we call it rebuilding. That's the word that you can use, rebuilding. I think we have to rebuild our marriage. I know. For me, I think when I moved here is when I forgave myself. Because I think even when I moved to Bermuda, I was still kind of like in a prison. I still was blaming myself for us being in Bermuda, putting us in that situation with my past and stuff, even though you wasn't even part of my, at 18, you was what, 10? 9 when that happened to me.
Pedro's 9 years older than me, guys. So just to let you know.
Only for a couple of months. And then I'm 8 for the rest of the year. So only for like 3 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, you was like 8 going on 9. When I was going through my situation that caused us to have to move to Bermuda. And I was like, man, like, I was just mad. Like I found myself to be a little bit mad.
You was just mad at yourself.
I was just mad at myself. And I think I was here one time, I moved here and I was walking, it was sunshine. I even did a video on our Facebook, which I
Mhm.
can't get to anymore because my Facebook got hacked. But anyway, another story.
Okay, you digress. Go ahead.
And I think about it, and I was like, oh, it's sunny outside. It's such a nice day. See, it does be sun out here and stuff. And I think that day is actually the day I forgave myself for being, because I realized I had a new start, a new beginning, and I could rebuild everything
You know,
that
a
was
lot of
happening between us. And we wasn't even back. You wasn't even here yet.
no.
We was talking about it, but
Mhm.
I knew
Mhm.
you was gonna come, and so I think that's why it gave me the push to get everything together, because I mean everything came with God's help, everything came together really quick.
It did.
Came together really quick. I mean, I
Mhm.
got here in April and I had you here by July or June.
Mhm.
Like in no time I had a job, I had a place, I had a car. That didn't work that well, but I had a car. But hey, and
You know, things don't always look good sometimes when you're going in when you're in your marriage. You're going through, you never know what you're going to face sometimes in life.
mhm.
You never know what you're going to experience with the person that you're with in your marriage. So I always say, don't never say never. Don't never say what you won't do. Don't never say where you won't go, because you don't know until you in the situation. And um, I was willing to come where you was. You know what I'm saying? And look at us now.
Oh
We're
yeah.
here today.
I think I thought about this too. I know your thing about me was that I was too inconsistent. So I know I had to show consistency
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
our marriage.
Mhm.
I wasn't saying this is the thing, folks, because some people, what about her? Or there's if she's talking, they say, what about him?
Mhm.
In this instance, in the part of us forgiving each other, I had
Mhm.
to that's what I mean by forgiving yourself. I
Mhm.
worked on myself,
Mhm. Mhm.
and
And I did
then
too.
and by working on myself, my
Mhm.
forgiveness for Tara, for my wife,
Mhm.
came natural.
Mhm.
I didn't
Mhm.
have to worry about forgiving her because I was forgiving myself.
Mhm.
And so like becoming, and then that's what I mean by once I realized I have to be more consistent in what I said I would do, then I could see the walls coming down on Tara, where she would like, okay, he's actually trying.
Mhm.
Or okay, he's actually not going to do that. Or he's not going to punch a wall. He's not going to get mad.
Mhm.
He's not going to yell at me. He's not going to this. He's not going to that.
Mhm.
I could see the walls coming down. I could see where where you were more
Comfortable.
comfortable, and you
Mhm.
was also more understanding of how I felt like you was listening to me. Because I think because I wasn't consistent, you would sometimes block me out or tune me out,
Mhm.
and I could see it. I'm like,
Mhm.
you're not even hearing me. You're not even
Mhm.
listening to me.
Mhm.
Like I could hear it. I could see it.
Mhm.
But once I became more consistent, I can see that we was progressing in a
Mhm.
better place with us in our marriage.
Mhm.
And I definitely know us doing the podcast when we first started, and the COVID really helped us to
Mhm.
cement our marriage and cement our relationship,
Mhm.
because it forced us to be around each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think that's why I worked so much, so I could be away from home.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was forced to just do like one job, and well, actually more than one job, but still, I was still forced to be home more because it's
Mhm.
not like I could just go out.
Mhm.
It was work or home, work or home. But
Mhm.
I had to be home, and when I came home, I had to be more deliberate and more consistent
Yeah.
in everything that I did. So I know
Mhm.
that, so that's another thing that happened with us when it came to the consistency. And then also patience.
Mhm.
We have to be patient with each other.
Yeah.
I have to be patient with you because, like, and I tell people this, and and it's not your fault, but it sounds like I'm blaming, but I'm not. But your sometimes your emotional outburst can work a man's nerves, can work a nerve,
Yeah.
because you get into this I call it the emotional tirade,
Yeah.
where you just go off.
I
Like
do. I can get like that. I
go
can
where
admit.
it's just
I can
like
admit. I can
you
get like
start
that.
bringing in stuff that don't even exist, and
Right.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had to use my patience with you on that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? That's whatever. That's
Because
that's
for
her.
me, I
That's
felt
not
like
her talking.
sometimes I felt like you had this I don't care attitude type of thing. Like you had like this dryness to you. They did some this nonchalant way about yourself sometimes. Where I sometimes feel like you didn't show any emotion, that you didn't show your feelings, that you didn't that it just like I felt like you just didn't care. That's what I felt like. And that's why I became emotional or in sometimes in how I used to respond to you.
Well, I've always cared.
I'm just saying, well, then you had a funny way of showing it.
No, that was just my way of showing it that you
Okay,
have
but
to
I'm saying
learn.
your way was not the way I like.
Okay, well, guess what, Talk? Guess what? I'm still that way.
Yeah, but it's a difference for some
No,
reason.
because you understand it better.
We understand it later.
Exactly. You understand it better. You understand me now. You have learned. See, when you was emotional, you wasn't trying to understand where I was coming from. But now you know I am that way. I'm very calm. Just like earlier, like even not even earlier, just like if one of our children
earlier,
like one of our children, if one of our children are going through a meltdown, you ready to go in, rah, 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 rah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, take a deep breath.
Okay, but what happened today?
Calm down. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Well, that's what happened today. Our youngest had a meltdown, and she was like, she was just frustrated.
Yeah.
And you're ready to go in there and just
but then I calm myself.
Wait. But why did you calm yourself down?
Because I said, you know what?
No. Why did you calm yourself down? Because I came and tapped you out. I said, no, I got this, and I just started talking to her.
Yeah.
Then you saw how calm I was acting towards her, and I was like, hey, take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay.
Right.
All right. Crying is not gonna help. Blah blah blah. And I was just talking calmly to her.
Right.
And then you was like, all right, you know what? I ain't gonna hurt her. So that's my point. Is about learning. I'm still that dry, like matter of fact person. You just understand me better now. You have got the patience. You have developed the patience to understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah. How do you handle a situation versus how I handle situations totally different? But that's what a balance is.
That's what about right, because I'm not like you always tell me I'm not you.
We're not each other. You're not your spouse, and your spouse is not you. You're not going to respond the same. You're both going to think differently. You're both going to do things differently. But the point is to come to a common ground where you both can try to understand the situation, that you both can try to understand in your own thinking.
Like I know that you're never going to say okay just off the back. No, you're gonna have to go 10 minutes or 15 minutes into the conversation before you say, okay, I agree. Okay, it's okay. It depends. No, it depends. It's always that way. I'm sorry, sweetie, but babe, you that's what makes you you.
I know.
That's what makes you my emotional firecracker. Not emotional. That's what makes you my little southern firecracker. I tell people all the time, you're my little southern firecracker. Don't know when you're gonna pop it, where you're gonna pop it. You're gonna pop everywhere before you stop. There'd be a little smoke, and then it'd be just nice.
But when do you think? Because I came across Colossians 3 when it was talking about wives. Colossians 3, New International Version, verse 18, 19, and it says, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands as it is fitting to the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh to them."
Right, and so we talk. Well, that's perfect. Yeah, you say I was being dry. I wasn't being dry. I was loving you. I wasn't loving you the way you thought I should love you.
Yeah. Well, then
you had this misconception.
Sometimes you have to tell your spouse the things that will help you be able to understand them.
Well, that's where the
communication comes in.
This is what I just said. This is where the forgiveness comes in, because I just said to you that sometimes I may hurt you unintentionally, but just know I'm not hurting you intentionally. You'll know if I'm doing it intentionally or not. But a wife can submit to her husband when he's showing it. Wait. One thing I'm going to do is I'm never going to lie to you. I'm never going to be like, oh, this is what's really happening. This was happening, but that's not what's really happening. I'm always going to be honest with you, even if it hurts your feelings. Because I feel like if I'm honest with you, even if it hurts your feelings, at least you know where I'm coming from. And then sometimes,
same for me.
And I expect the same thing from you.
Yeah.
But sorry.
Yeah. You got a frog in your throat.
Yeah, but I don't think that that we. I think that you submit. I still think sometimes you have a hard time submitting to me because you can be a little strong-headed, but it's not that you're trying not to submit. I think sometimes you just have an idea that you really want to get through, and if I don't agree right away, you're like, well, why not? Why don't you want to do it?
No. I didn't came a long way with submitting.
Listen. I just said. I said sometimes you still have that issue, but I work with it. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not saying that you have to be totally, submitted. I want you to give me your ideas. I like that we can have that banter. Sometimes I like that we can go back and forth.
Which I get what you're saying. Submitting is allowing you to lead, allowing you to be able to. That is true.
Yeah.
Submitting is allowing you to lead our family and knowing if you're making a decision, it's in the best interest of all of us and not just yourself.
Yeah.
And while you're doing
that's everything I've always done when it came to this family.
And while you're doing that, you loving me right?
Mhm.
And you're not being harsh to me, treating me indifferent. You know what I'm saying?
It
Because you are the
sound
one,
like I'm doing it sometimes.
because you are leading. I'm just saying,
Do you
nobody
feel I
want to
treat
feel
you harshly?
controlled.
Do you feel like I treat you harshly?
No,
Honestly.
no, in the past, maybe.
Okay. Just want to make that
In
clear.
the past, yes. But
Okay.
now I can't say that.
Okay.
I can't say that. I can't say that at all.
I know I definitely know we got better with forgiving each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even when
And
even
letting
when we
it go,
don't have
and
a
literally letting
letting
it go.
yeah.
Not holding on to it.
Because we'll just start joking about. Oh, our thing is now we'll start joking about
Mhm.
it, or we'll make a crack a joke or something,
Right.
and then it's pretty much done.
Yeah. Because my thing is to come to you and be like, you know
He'd be
what?
like, give me a kiss, baby.
Give me a
Give me a
kiss.
hug. Give me a hug. I'm like, get off of me, woman. I don't even like you. I know.
Give me a hug. I'd be like, you want something to eat?
Always trying to feed a brother.
You want something to eat? I'll fix you something to eat. What you want? What you want?
Mhm. That's when I can get you to rub my feet, my back, my legs, everything. Be like, yo, my whole body hurts.
Look, listen.
That's when I use you.
That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. If you do me, you treat me right, I rub your feet, your back, your head, all those things.
I know one thing. I think what you just said, I think more than anything when it comes to forgiveness, we have developed a mutual respect and a mutual responsibility where we trust each other, where we know that we're secure. Like I know I'm secure in that you're gonna forgive me for what I've done.
Right.
I don't think about you're gonna bring it back up to me again.
I respect you enough not to just say no anything to you to hurt you. I have gotten to that point in our marriage. Before it's, you don't respect your spouse if you just saying things to just bring them down, and where is the respect? You know what I'm saying? Where is the love? Like, where is all of that? But you want people to forgive you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. You have to respect your spouse enough to think about what you're saying before you blurt it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where the love goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I don't want to, I'm not gonna say this. Yeah. And that's how God work on our heart as well. Because he's saying, now you shouldn't say that. You see what I'm saying? And see how it all comes together.
Yeah, I think
when we do that.
Because we communicate better, we got rid of our pride. I'm willing to
definitely. Pride would actually tear you apart.
I don't have I've given away my vulnerability to you. I can be vulnerable with you. You won't. I know, like, we don't want to forgive sometimes because we act like we forgive that we're giving in too much or we're giving you too much power. And that's not true. I think you have to be vulnerable in order to be forgiven.
I absolutely agree with that.
And that's the only way that you can forgive yourself. We try our hardest not to repeat the offense. We try our hardest not to have an unrealistic expectation
of our spouse.
Yeah. I know who you are. I know what you're capable of. I know what you can do. I know what you can do even more because you like to self-sabotage yourself a lot. And I have to be like, no, you can do this.
Yeah, you definitely be supporting me because I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah, so, but just in terms of forgiving, I just feel like in our marriage now, we understand each other when it comes to that, where we just hold each other up. And even if it hurts, even if we're mad, we don't let it affect our relationship. Like, just because you're mad at me because I did something, you be mad at that moment. But then you'll say, okay, what can we do to fix it? Or what can we, can you, just try not to do it again.
Yeah.
Like, please try not to do it again.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me. If you need help, just tell me. We've been through that when we came visit me in Bermuda, and he was like, why didn't you tell me? I was right there. You didn't say nothing to me.
Yeah.
It took you minutes to forgive me for that.
It did, because I was like, dang. Like, what the heck? I think it's so important to, come clean about. Don't hold it in. If anybody that you can't talk to besides God, you should be able to talk to your spouse.
True.
You should be able to come to them and be like, look, I'm going through this situation. What, how can you help me through this? Or what can we do? Before you get too deep in, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's so important to just try to be open as possible. Like you said, be vulnerable. Don't be afraid. Don't, if you can do it, you can, what I'm saying? If you woman or man enough to be out there doing stuff, you should be able to come to your spouse.
True.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
All right. My goodness, we've been talking for a minute.
We have been. We need
to do like a part 2 because we can talk a whole lot more.
I'm telling you, but guys, we have come to this part in our show. It's time for us to do our cards. Yeah. So it's time for us to get ready for that. Which one are we doing today?
I don't know. You pick one.
So with this card, it's called an intimacy deck.
Wait, we didn't finish. We didn't really end it properly.
Oh, how are we going to end it?
I don't know how you want to end it.
Oh, I just want to. Okay, so
I'll
how
say
are we
this.
going to end this before we get to the cards? I'm sorry. Forgiveness is important for your mental health, for your marriage, for your children, for your weight, for you guys to survive and get through life. You know, it's important that you do that. You know, don't think you too big or too prideful that you cannot let it go.
True.
What you say, honey?
My thought was that, forgiveness and trust are intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
That a strong trust foundation can lead to quicker and deeper forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And that the process of forgiving can in turn help rebuild that trust.
That's it.
So that'd be my
That'd be your takeaway.
That'd be my takeaway more than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're gonna get back to this deck. So it's an intimacy deck, and it's basically having a deeper connection, a conversation with your partner. And you pick a card. So you have the past, you have random, you have life, relationships, intimacy, and about you. So I picked the last 2 times. So now you're gonna have to pick which category we're gonna talk about today before the show ends.
Let's do. I don't know. Let's do random.
All right, let's do random.
See what random's about today.
Yep.
Let's go from there.
So random is yellow.
Yeah. Yellow.
The yellow card. And we got these cards from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pick them out, and during your free time, you and your spouse can talk about some things. Okay. All right. So I can do my card first. I kind of don't like it, but it says, which animal do you think is your spiritual animal and why? I don't have a spiritual animal at all. Well, I like horses. That's only because God was on a horse. Oh, doesn't it make sense?
God's not on a horse.
Oh, Jesus was on a horse?
When?
No, he was on a donkey.
Yeah, he was on a donkey.
Okay, fine. Sorry. So
don't look at the pictures that come. Those are the pictures that come in there. He's gonna come back in the clouds. It don't mean he's gonna come back on a horse.
Right. Yeah, I need to stop looking at those pictures.
Exactly. You're thinking of that's what you're thinking of. You're thinking of that picture of him coming back on a horse.
Okay, so scratch that. Forget what I just said. Scratch that.
You want to pick something else?
No, that's not it. Scratch that whole thing. So scratch that. So okay, so no, I don't have a spiritual animal, and I don't have a wife for it either. Can I pick another card?
Yeah, you pick another.
All right, so let's go. Sorry, that's awful. Okay, okay, so here go my other card. Share one thing I've done this week that has made your week better. This is talking to you now. Share one thing I have done this week that has made your week better, husband.
Share one thing you've done this week that made my week better.
Yeah.
Just making sure that everything's okay.
You like what?
In general, you always every day you always make sure you call me. Like if I say I'm on my way home, if I'm not home, like because sometimes I get caught in traffic. If I'm not home, say I'll be home by like 6, and then it's like 6:15. You'll be like, "Hey, you okay?"
Yeah.
You all right? You all right? You know, you say you're gonna be home at 6. Like you're not home yet. And I'm like, well, I'm still in traffic. All right, no problem. Just making sure you're okay.
Yeah.
It's just little things. You do everything to make me feel. Let me see the question again. You make everything. One thing. Yeah, you always make everything. It's not really one thing. It's multiple things. You do multiple things. You always make sure I'm okay. Even if it's not like when I come home and you be like, let me make you something to eat. I'm like, I can make something to eat. You're like, but I can make it. Let me make it heat it up. And I'm like, I'm already heated it up. He's like, but I could do it. I'm like, fine, go heat it up. Like, So it's just, I think it's just in general, it's not really one thing. It's multiple things. If you really think about it, that's the best way I could put it.
Okay.
What's one thing I've done that made your life easier this week?
When you come home and we talk, and I'm able to.
I just spend some time with you.
You spend time with me, and even though you may end up doing a little snooze, and I just look at you like, he really
and
sleeping?
take pictures.
Yeah. I take a picture to you and I send it
Oh
to
my
you.
goodness,
Like,
you put
Pedro, you
those pictures
sleeping?
on Instagram or Facebook, they'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah. But this week you had what you done for me. You always, I like that. Like in the morning when you call me, like, babe, you good? Like, yep. After we got the kids all sorted and all that. So yeah, you
I
do that.
thought so. You're saying like I asked you how was your day?
Mm-hmm.
I was
Absolutely.
actually how was your day?
Yeah.
Even if I've been talking to you all day and I know what your day was like, I still say how was your day?
Yeah. Well, because something could have changed.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's possible.
In that short time, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Not likely, but yes, I still ask you.
What your card says.
If I notice that your words and actions are not aligned, what's the best way to let you know?
Oh, you asking me that question?
Mm-hmm.
If I notice that your words and action are not aligned, what is the best way to let you know? Tell me. But like, I don't like that you said that, or I don't like that you did that, or explain. Be like, could you tell me why you said that, or like, give? I need to give you an explanation of why that may be the case.
Yeah, for me, I'll probably say like, you know what? You're letting the emotions take over you. So
Like, you doing too much.
you're doing too much. Like that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
And
So,
then
so how can we align to make that right?
Say it again.
How can we make that right?
By telling you.
Yeah, by telling me. I'm saying you were saying from your perspective.
I just tell you, and
you
then
just
let
tell
you.
me.
Yeah, I tell you, then let you. Tell me how you. I don't know. I don't like the random parts of these questions, but anyway, I just tell you how I feel. I tell you how. What's the yeah? Right. It said if the words don't align alike. Well, okay. Actually, you know what? Because I think it's more saying like if the words don't align. So like, say I know you lying.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll just let you sit. I'll just let you sit in that lie until you come tell me the truth. I think that's what it was more saying. Like, so sometimes you may say something, but something else.
Yeah.
So then you like, I know that's
like
not.
You'd be like, oh, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. But I know it's something else. I know, like,
it's more than what it
yeah, like if I call you, like, what? And I'm like, Dad, you gonna answer the phone that way? I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong, babe. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. All right, nothing's wrong. I'll say okay, and then we just talk for about 5 minutes, and then I go back to her and say, hey. You sure you're okay? Because you didn't sound too good when you answer the phone. Then you'll say, oh, well, such and such was this or such and such was that. Yeah, that's what I do. I sometimes I think when you know the words are not aligned and the actions are not the same as the words that they're saying. Sometimes you just have to give it time.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to always push.
Space.
You don't always have to push right away.
Give it space.
Yeah, give it time to marinate, let you kind of figure it out. And then when you're ready to say what's really bothering you, you'll say what's really bothering you.
Yeah.
That's the best way. That's what that question made to me now. Yeah, it took me a minute to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I kept saying to myself, words don't align, but words or actions don't align.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was saying. What do you think? You think it was saying that?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I do.
So what do you do when my words and my actions don't align?
I'm like, you tripping. Like you really, but then I think sometimes we can overthink and overreact about things, and it can be so small sometimes. And you just you let it take over you. And then once you sit back for a minute, you like, you know what? I'm just really tripping. And then when you really think about it, it really wasn't necessary to really
I don't think it's really that. I think no, it's not that. I think they're talking more about like we just said, like if I'm lying to you, how do you handle that?
I would like, stop lying.
Would you say right away or would you?
I'll tell you right away. Now, you ain't telling the truth. I can tell. Sometimes you could be with a person long enough, you could tell when they lying.
Yeah, but if I said that to you, you'd be like, I'm not lying. Just leave me alone. I'm not lying. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And most times I'll be like, all right, fine.
Even when I'm telling the truth.
So
you used to tell me this all the time. You only get upset when you know it's that you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to say that.
I
still say that.
No, you don't say that anymore. You'd be like, that's not true. You don't know what you're talking about. You used to tell me all the time, because that's what I used to just get mad all the time. When you said something I knew was true, I get real upset, get loud, get thing. You'd be like, he's not telling the truth. That's how you can tell when I was calm. You'd be like, oh, he's telling the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have to, as we say, forgive me.
Yeah, forgive you. Yeah.
So I guess forgiveness is an important part of a marriage.
It is.
is one of the most is what keeps a marriage together, because if you can't forgive each other as God forgives you, then you can't be together.
No.
Because if you can't forgive somebody, then you're not gonna survive the marriage, because it's all the stuff that you're not forgiving is gonna build up.
And it's just gonna
And
blow up
then
one
just
day.
gonna blow up one day, and then you be like, oh, you don't even know how it happened.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wondering how did we even get to this point?
Because
Because you couldn't
somewhere down
forgive.
the line, you just never let it go.
Yeah. And of course, like we said, forgive yourself first.
Yeah. Forgive yourself, love
Mhm.
yourself.
It's just like, real quick before we end, because we know about the end. In a marriage, you have to work on yourself before you can work on the other person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta you gotta get your problems under control,
Mm-hmm.
get your issues and your problems, and you can use your spouse to help you get those problems under control.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to get them under control. You got to get them in a positive way before you can bring bringing negativity into the marriage is not going to help at all at any point, any time.
No, absolutely.
So yeah, that's the end of that.
All right, guys.
But
So
yeah, it was really fast. Like I said, my goodness.
We have come to the end of our show, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as we did.
If you want to like and subscribe, you can do so. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell an enemy.
That's right.
And if you have any comments what we talked about, if you disagree with anything that we said, which we're okay with that.
Yeah, like I said, we're not professionals
it's
here.
not about we're our own individuals, so we're going to say things sometimes that people don't agree with.
That's right.
But if you do have a question, you can leave it anonymously at app called Sido, and it's the number #115-3431.
And to spell that Sido is SLIDO.
Yep.
SLIDO.
Yep. On YouTube, you can see it at the bottom of our podcast as it's scrolling across the whole time.
Yeah, and it also will be in the description box on YouTube as well.
But for those that listen to it on the radio, it's called Sido, and it's #115-3431. That's SLIDO. #115-3430. Please leave a comment or a question. It is anonymous, so we will not know that you have done it. It's up for the whole week.
Yep.
So we hope to hear from somebody, or hope to hear from you.
All right, guys. I'm your host, Tara.
And I'm your host, Pedro.
And this is Heal My Marriage, what?
Podcast.
All right, guys. See you
Peace.
later.